Hello, I'm Mayday, and welcome to day 17 of Sudoku September. Today's puzzle is boxes on boxes. Let's see what this is. So, grid contains one or more 3x3 square boxes which must be located. Each contains 1 to 9 parts each. They just cannot repeat in a row or column. Boxes may partially overlap, but no two can entirely overlap. Cells that are not in a box do not contain digits. The cell's value is equal to its digit multiplied by the number of boxes in which it appears. Okay. Cell without a digit does not have a value. The sum of the values inside a cage is equal to a small number on the top left corner. Okay. So, in that case, okay, that's all. Oh, okay, I see. So, okay, so this is something values and not digits. Got it. So the question is, like, must be between those two. They must contain digits. So we know that has definitely got a square. We know that's definitely got a square, right? So we can start by highlighting those. Now, this currently is not in any box, so this must be in a square, right? Now, in theory, it doesn't have to be this. It can contain, that could be blank. We know for definite, though, that this is in one. So we know that those 6 are definitely going to be some sort of square. Now, we do not know whether this is part of green, but we know that this is in a square. I'm going to do this in a dark green. These are tangent, like, these could be. So, we know for definite, though, that at least those 8 must be in at least one. So, I guess let's look at the main ones that would cause issues here. No, because there's sums though, yeah. 9 is restricted in 3 of them. This is going to be an interesting square, right? Nah, not necessarily. It may not necessarily have value. Okay. I guess we could start by assuming there's only 3 boxes. Let's start with that. See if that gets us anywhere. Again, this might be like I don't know. We'll see. If we assume this is some combo of 7, 8, 9. Let's assume that is empty. That is going to be, it's only in one box, right? So that would have to be an 8. This is going to have to be a 7. Because we know that this being an 8 has to be between those 2 values, I think both of those have to be 9s, which I think would cause issues, right? If there are only 3, I think we've got issues because this 8, which is so far only 1, has to, yeah, they've got to be, is it allowed to be equal to? Must be between. Yeah, I think this being an 8 forces both as 9, and then for this to be 24 with the knowledge that it's only in one box, I think it breaks. So I'm pretty sure that means that there could be free if it was in. No, I don't think it would necessarily be if it was free. What it would be is I think there was another box. I think for this to really work, I'm going to assume that there are 4 boxes. Although the problem with this setup anyway is that they're all empty, so yeah. Okay, let's... No, because if we try the assumption that those were separate, right? The issue we would have is that, you know, this does not work, right? We would not have anything to fit that 24. So we know that this 24 must have something in terms of overlaps. We do not know where it overlaps, but we know that at least one of these must be part of 2 different boxes. And I reckon that it's going to be that this is a box and there is just some other box that we need to account for, either here or here, that is going to, you know, make sure that this can work. So, with that strategy in mind, we'll keep those as being, you know, what we did have is like, that is a 7, that is an 8. But it's just that we've got something else overlapping. And we don't know what, but if it was here, then... Actually, let's figure out, 9 in green would have to go in one of those. But, again, with how this is phrased, I think what it's saying is that, yeah, values must be between. When it says between, actually, that's... Oh, no, when it says between, that is... Okay, never mind. I guess I misunderstood. We know one of those is a 9. We just don't know which. I think I understand what that means now. I think it is that, like, they fall between those values A and B. Okay, well, that's being a misunderstanding. This means that 9 can work, just it's not there. So let's go back to this idea, right? 8 in this box, we would assume that is either 7 or 8. Now, 8 in this box is in one of those. Now, if 8 was here, that would break, because that would be a 2 in this odd. So, assuming this, right, this must be an odd, but it can't be 7. Could be 9. No, it couldn't be, because we've already got 9 in this row, I guess. That would have to be, I think, either 5, 3, or 1, which makes this either... Can't be 5, actually. It's either 7 or 6. If it's either 6, 7, that's either 1 or 3, I believe. So with the assumption, yeah, that those are empty, let's just completely black them out. Now, if this was an 8, that's a 4. Let's just look at this, right? Because this is a 2, that's even, so that has to be even. So that would be either 2 or 4, except if that's a 2, that will that be a 2. So I think... Oh no, it can be empty. No, it can't be, because it's definitely within a grid in mind. So that must be a 1, I think, and that has to be a... No, that has to be a 4, and that has to be 1. Okay. So... Actually, no. Can 1 ever be on a line? That is an interesting point. But I don't think there's really a lot we can do with this, is there? Like... The only thing would be, say, if that was in a 3rd box, right? If that was in a box, then it could maybe work. The only thing is, like, if it's... Again, it says between. This seems a bit ambiguous, but I think it means that it can't be like less than the lower end. So I don't think 1 can ever be on it, which causes a problem with this 6 in particular with how it's set up. But again, if 1 can't be on a line like at all, then that couldn't only be part of 1 box, because again it can't be 2 2 because we'd have issues, right? So I think then what would have to be, because we know that this is a thing, I don't think this box goes here. The only question is, where would it go in a way that doesn't affect this? And I think the answer is the only place it could go is there. But even then, you're still having a 1 on there. Again, right, values and circles must contain digits, so they must be part of a box. Alright? Yeah, cells that aren't in a box don't contain digits, so that must be in a box. We know that yellow is certain. We know that red is certain. We do not know the precision of green. But we know that it has some overlap with this. Even if we took this out, just this alone, with the foresight, at least from what we can tell, based on this phrasing, has to be between. This cannot have a 1 on, so this would have to be 2 4 without any overlaps whatsoever. Now, if this cannot be part of multiple boxes, how does this work? And it can't be part of 2, because then there's a 1 forced on here. But it can't be empty, because this definitely has a 24 involved. Again, it says, yeah, digits cannot repeat in a row or column. So it's not like the 2-2 strat could work. Again, some of this might just be, it is unclear whether or not, again, the question could be, one of these could be blank. In which case, actually, yeah, that's probably what it is. Can I go back? I don't think I can, actually. Okay, never mind. So I think that is what the solution is. At least what I think I found is one of these is blank. This probably is still a box. The options we would have is that is a 3, and that is a 0, or that is a 6, and that is a 6. No, but we said they can't be blank because they are on a 9. They're on a 3x3, so they can't be. Again, no 2 boxes can entirely overlap, right? So, again, this isn't even taking into consideration like that 8 or 7 can be wrong. This entire thing is just trying to figure out how on earth the logic for the 6s works. Because since we know that, I might need to split here anyway.